Wow, folks. I think it's bittersweet because as a fan of this series, the original series, as a child, and typically you got this idea of like, oh, I would love a spinoff, or I would love for them to bring it back or remake it, whatever it may be. Um, you know, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it shouldn't happen, but when the concept is right, and I feel like the blueprint is set, you're happy and you're fulfilled. And so, with that being said, it's bittersweet that after 5 seasons, that the final 9 episodes of Fuller House, thus bringing this to an end. It's bittersweet. I love Full House. I think a lot of us loved Full House, and I know some of us did not get on board with Fuller House, but nonetheless, being able to see the family, original cast come back, the cameos from some of the people from the original series, and just the storytelling that links back to the original series. It was amazing. Any true fan that watched it, that was a Full House fan, would tell you that this was just it was everything we could have wanted it to be. Sure, there was little things we could have wanted more of, but I am very much satisfied and pleased for what they were able to do, and working together with Netflix in order to be able to do this, because it was a treat. We were thankful to get this, and for 5 seasons we got solid, good television from it. But yeah, Fuller House season 5 part 2 will be releasing June 2nd. The final 9 episodes, and it's hard to kind of see it go, man. It really is. But even with the first episode that they come back to, they're already kind of making jokes about the series ending, and no matter how you look at it, none of them were prepared for it to end. So why they got the jokes out early, it was just an emotional time, especially the last episode. All the emotions come back, and even as viewers, it's just like, wow. When the song goes off for the last time, in the closing credits, it's like, you usually get that Netflix next episode coming, and you realize, like, that's it. So, but I'm a huge fan. I mean, Boy Meets World and Full House are 2 of my favorite shows of all time. And I like Girl Meets World when that was a thing, and when that went off, I understand, and I just wasn't emotionally invested as I am with this show, because I feel like Full House has told a lot of good stories that getting Fuller House, it really brings into a lot of that into perspective as an adult. Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World kind of kept that same niche as far as the audience that they were like, pointing to, where Full House kind of took his fan base and brought them along with him. So, that's really the difference is for me. But it's just, when you think about the iconic set, and seeing the childhood stars grow after all these years, and just the old cameos, and the old friends unite, even the old school jokes and puns from the original series. It never gets old. Nonetheless, it just never gets old. And not to even mention too, the new younger cast, seeing them grow. I mean, Max and Ramona, seeing them become tiny, just from being tiny people to tiny big people. Even Max's voice changed. Max started getting some bass in his voice. So like, that's how the experience has been, and nonetheless, definitely, rest in peace to Cosmos, the dog who passed away in December from complications of surgery. Seeing him on the screen is just like, he's part of the house. He's part of the Full House family, and as fans, that even the dog plays, just as important without even having any, vocal role or dog vocal roles. Losing a member of the family it was just hard in its own. But anyway, let's break down the second part of season 5, the last final 9 episodes, and it did focus on the triple wedding. And while Stephanie, DJ, and Kimmy, they're all getting married at the same time, and they all kind of, it sounds like a good idea, but obviously we know even people having one weddings could be difficult. But trying to have a triple wedding and trying to keep everybody satisfied. They kind of go through the adventures of all trying to get on the same page and learning about their differences and so on. And it's, you know, and it's interesting, as well as you know, the kids getting used to Steve moving in the house now. You have that dynamic, and then, you know, while all that's happening, they're still having wild little mini adventures throughout each of the episodes that really ultimately leads to the end. And then we just, you know, we get to see how each of these families, you know, how they're preparing to move forward in the future, and then really reflecting on all of the good times that they have. So, like, you already know how emotionally charged that was, because that means going back down memory lane and so on. But, you know, with that being said, I really had a lot of fun with almost all the episodes, but the ones that really stood out to me was 14, 16, 17, and 18. 17 and 18 in particular definitely almost had me in tears. Like, just so many good memories with the final episode. It's just real emotional, and like, you know, when you see the emotions amongst them, as far as them acting and so on, I really want to take the word acting out of it, because you can tell truly how genuine it is. Those are real emotions on those final episodes, and I'm telling you, it's a tearjerker all the way. But I you know, I made it through it without crying, but it was something for sure. I will say this though, my only disappointment in this entire 5 seasons, and I'm not even sure how many episodes, is that I really cannot believe, after all these times, you know, and I'll just, you know, just in case right now this is a spoiler, so just letting you know, I really can't believe after all this time we didn't get a cameo at all from the Olsen twins. I can't wrap my head around it. And I know somebody's going to comment and, you know, give me some of the histories, whatever it is about it, but I didn't read the news. I know that in the beginning they tried and they couldn't get it to work, but after all this time, not just one, I feel robbed of that, because everybody else made an appearance, because everyone knew how special this project was. I mean, not just one, anything, a Skype call, any type of segment. I just can't believe that, unless they're just really at foes, or just who knows what it could have been. I just cannot believe that once did we had that. But, you know, as we really, as this season progressed, we got so many callbacks to Full House. And to be honest, the true fans are really going to be tested with some of these callbacks, because like, it was some things I was like, I don't even know if I remember that, but nonetheless, for all this time with the isolation, this is the perfect time to go back and binge some of the old Full House episodes and the classics, because we have that available time now. But yes, there's some true callbacks that's really going to test your real fandom if you really know what's going on. But overall, I really did like how they revisit the nostalgia and everything that's going on, how it just all united, all back together. It was perfectly cohesive together. I feel like Full House is a class, we know that, but Full House really kept the integrity and the dignity that first series embodied, and just only grew up on it even better. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to want to go back to watch both of them done together. When you get in one of those strange binge modes, you're going to go back and watch Full House, and you go like, you know what, let's see how this progressed through. And you're going to see how fluent it is, because it really does a really good job in doing so. But I will say that the last little thing I will say that was interesting about this is that I thought it was really interesting that the Tanners never met Kimmy's parents. I never realized that. Because Kimmy's parents has been traveling the world this entire time, but I had no clue that they have never met, which is something they said in this. And I've like, even I started thinking like, I don't even know if that's to be true, but they did emphasize that they had never met. So I never ever realized that at all. But again, you know, the final 9 episodes of Full House season 5 will be available for you June 2nd on Netflix, and it's bittersweet, man. I'm gonna miss this show, and as much as I love me a good nostalgia binge, and just, you know, one of my favorite series of all time, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a void missing now. Hopefully somebody steps up and give us a new, fresh perspective on something else, because man, it's gonna be hard not to see DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy on my screen. But I love the three of them. They're so good together. They're so good together. But as always, people, thank you for checking out the review, and I'll catch you guys next time.